Hi, I'm Lauren Lapkus, and I'm in studio with The Hollywood Reporter.
Thanks so much for dropping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Welcome to The Earliest Show.
Okay, yeah, you told me you had a joke. Hey, it worked, yeah.
Great. Between Two Ferns, the movie is out. How does it feel?
So good. I'm so excited for people to see this movie. It's like, it was one of the most fun jobs I've ever had.
Oh, it's so great to hear. When you first hear of them making a movie kind of out of the series, what was your initial reaction to kind of how they were going to do this? And
Oh, wow. I mean, my initial reaction was I really want to be in it.
Okay.
So I don't need any more information. But yeah, I was curious what the storyline would be because the web series is such a simple concept. And you don't know much about Zach, the character's life. So I was curious how that would go.
Now from the original series, what were some of your favorite interviews and moments throughout?
Oh God, Justin Bieber, that's a classic one. I love the Jerry Seinfeld stuff. There have been a lot of good ones. I mean, Obama, there's amazing interviews.
Can't pass up Obama. Yeah. Throughout the film, I guess, how would you say, how much of it was improv throughout? That was another thing I was wondering.
Yeah, a good amount of it was improvised. Scott Aukerman, who directed the film and wrote it with Zach, they kind of made the story, up entirely themselves, and they had all the scenes with all the beats that had to happen, but we improvised a lot of the dialogue, so that was fun for me, because that's my whole life.
Carol's looking into that, and as soon as we're done with this,
she didn't even know what we were doing here. She's not looking into anything.
I'll start fully aware of what's going on.
In terms of kind of the celebrity cameos and the interviews, did Zach and Scott kind of have them in mind before writing the script, or did they kind of come along as you guys went?
Yeah, I think they had some of them in mind, and some people were available and able to do it, and some weren't, and so they moved with it, whoever was able to do it. But yeah, I mean, we got some people who are really, really cool. I can't say any of them.
I don't think
we can say that. Oh, it's out now? Yeah, okay, well, yeah, he's in it.
The John Hamm bit was really funny. Dave Letterman calling him Santa Claus with an eating disorder.
I know. I was so sad because we weren't there for the day with David Letterman. And I was like, I really wanted to meet him.
And the Peter Dinklage bit of you guys robbing his house, was that in the original script?
Oh, God, I mean, it was in my script. Okay. I don't know what they had in mind when they first wrote, but that was one of the best days. He's just an amazing actor. Like, you just watch him and you just want to watch him the whole time. I mean, I truly was like, he's incredible, and he was really fun to play around with because in that whole scene where I'm stealing from him, he's really angry.
And the Warhol LaCroix painting. Was that LaCroix around that?
I think it was LaCroix.
Are you a big Game of Thrones fan?
Well, no, I'm not. And I feel like I'm in the minority for sure, but I recently watched the first episode and the last episode for my podcast, Raised by TV, where we sometimes do episodes where we watch shows we've never seen and just see the beginning and the end. And that was actually a great way to watch it. I was like, I think I
got it. Yeah, I caught on a little bit.
Everyone will hate that.
Do you know, was there any celebrity cameos that Scott and Zach weren't able to get? Were there any dream gets they weren't?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I really don't know. I think they left us out of that conversation so we wouldn't be disappointed by hoping for somebody who couldn't show up or something. Yeah.
How was working with Will Ferrell?
It was great. Yeah, we did a movie together before, and he's so nice and so funny, and this was really great because we got to really mess around and improvise together, and that's like a dream come true.
That's literally probably the dream.
Yeah.
One thing I was wondering too is in the after credits you kind of see more from these interviews a little bit, and it kind of leaves me thinking that Between Two Ferns is going to come back. Yeah. Maybe for the 2020 presidential election. I know maybe you don't know, but
I don't know.
Would you like to see that happen?
I would love to see Bernie Sanders do it.
Yeah.
I mean, any of those people would be great. Yeah.
What were some of your other favorite moments from throughout shooting?
Oh God, I have to think of things that. Oh well, I really just loved some of the simple moments of improvising with Zach and Ryan and Giovanni. Like, we got to spend a lot of time together, and there was one scene where we're in a restaurant on one of our pit stops, and Paul Russ was the waiter, and he's so funny. I mean, they had to cut out so much good stuff, but we just had a great time together, just goofing around.
Let's do it again, from the top.
You want to do this conversation again from the top?
Yeah, this is my life story. You ruined that scene of my life story. So did you, by the way. Let's take it from the top. Where are you going?
I'm going home.
That's bad acting. Bad acting.
Zach plays himself, obviously, and he's kind of like a bit of an insane boss. Do you have any insane boss crazy stories? Or?
Oh God, well, I think I'm really lucky because I'm always quit every job that I had where I didn't like what was happening there. I would quit really fast. I tried to be a barista for like a day, and I tried to work at a pier in Chicago, like calling out for boat tours and stuff.
How did that go?
Horribly. I mean, I had no confidence, so it was my fault probably that I was bad at all these jobs. But I started babysitting for my living, and that was like, oh, everyone's just really nice. All the parents were great, and like I can't really complain. So I haven't really had that kind of thing. And in this job, it's just like I feel happy just to get to act. And
you did a sketch on babysitting, right? My terrible babysitter.
Yes. You do your research. That's really impressive. It's a deep dive.
Was that like an older sketch that you did? Okay.
Yeah, that was probably like 10 years ago. But yeah, it was with Darcy Carden, who's on The Good Place, and I'm trying to think of who else. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Michael Caine. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Really funny people.
Looking at your career, you really seem, at least from kind of reading more about you, that you had a plan, and this is kind of like the route you wanted to go. Can you kind of talk about breaking into the comedy world and how you were able to do it?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was my goal and my dream, like from a young age. And I was kind of guided by a teacher of mine. I was in high school and really didn't have any luck getting into any plays at school. And my teacher, Aaron Carney, shout out, suggested that I take improv classes. And it really changed the whole path for me because I didn't really know about those classes. And I was 18 and kind of nervous about the whole thing. And I didn't even know what the end game was. I didn't, at that time, I think improv was less known about, less talked about. It was kind of a direct shot to SNL or something like that, but you didn't really hear that, oh, you could end up being on like TV and movies just by doing this and as a way to like train as an actor. And so I was really doing it for fun and as a thing to like express myself and kind of hone my sense of humor, and it really led me on a great path. I mean, I feel very thankful for it.
How would you advise kind of other people wanting to break into the comedy world? What would be your best advice? Is it the improv route? I
mean, it's really what works best for you. I think like stand-up was not the thing that I was drawn to, and I even though I always have loved watching it, it never really felt like the path that I was going to go on.
Why not?
I love doing characters, and I feel like, especially when I was first starting, I felt more myself when I was doing characters, so it was a kind of natural path for me. But I think just if you're interested in doing comedy, the main thing is just to get out there and try it. I mean, it's nerve-wracking and embarrassing at first, and you will suck, and I mean, that's okay. Everyone sucks when they start, so you just have to try. But anywhere you can take classes. Listening to podcasts, I think, is great. Now there are so many improv podcasts.
Like yours?
I mean, I'm not even trying to plug mine, but with special guest Lauren Lapkus. Hey, but there are so many podcasts, which I wish I had when I was younger, where I could like listen to people doing improv and learn how they're doing it.
When I first was introduced to you, it was on Orange is the New Black, and you actually made a kind of a cameo this final season for Caputo's Takedown. How was it returning, and had you kept up with the show?
Yeah, I've watched.
Oh, really?
I've been watching. And I love the show, and it was so cool to get to come back. I had no expectation to return. My character was fired from the prison, and I really thought that was the end of the road. So it was really cool that they wrote me back for a little moment to get to have my like revenge on Caputo for a second, which is cool.
It was great to see.
Yeah.
Another show you were on is obviously Big Bang Theory, but when starting out in a show like Orange is the New Black, where it is this kind of ensemble, but you're kind of in the initial cast, how was it kind of going to it, kind of this already established ensemble in Big Bang? What were the challenges of that?
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, that show has been on for so long, and I had obviously never been on it until the 11th and 12th season. And so I think in my head, there was no way I ever would be on it. Like, it just is like, that's a well-oiled machine that I'm not going to squeeze my way into. So I was really thankful for the opportunity. But it was so cool because they know each other so well. They've been doing the show for so long, and the writers are just like on point. Like it was like the best, easiest, funnest, that's not a word, but job.
Most fun ever. Now you've really taken the podcast realm by storm.
Thank you.
Not one podcast, but you have 4, correct?
Yes.
That's insane.
That's a lot.
How do you have the time?
I don't. Some of them are winding down a little bit, so even by the time this comes out, I think some of them will be done for a second, at least for the season. But I love doing it. I mean, it's been so cool because as an improviser, there isn't really a way to like share what you do on a national stage like that or an international stage. Stand-up is so much more like translatable in that way. Like people can access it more. So it's been really cool to like have these shows that I can express myself and do my style of comedy, and there's no filter and nobody can edit it except me, so it's great.
So you edit all of them?
Yeah, and usually I don't even cut anything out. I mean, I like to keep it really natural, and even when there are like bumps in the road in the improv, I like to leave it because I think it shows, like, it pays off better when you see like, oh, they kind of like faltered there, but then they really brought it together at the end.
That's so great. Now with special guest Lauren Lapkus, I listened to Sex and the City, which was hilarious. The whole McDonald's bit in the beginning was like really funny. And then also Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So you're surprised by what character you're about to play, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so the premise of the show is that the guest is the host. So they come in with the idea for the show, they come in with a character they're going to play, and they tell me what my character is once we start recording. So like, we don't talk about anything before we start.
That's so great.
And I love it because I don't have to plan anything. So it's really great for me because it's like an easy, I don't have to do any prep. But yeah, it's really fun to see what people come in with and what they end up wanting to do the show about because it's all up to them.
What have you been most surprised by in terms of like a character that you had to play? Or,
There was
or
one.
were you not able to catch on to what was going on at all? Or?
Oh, I feel like in those moments I just double down on whatever I feel like doing and hope that it works out. But there was an episode where I was made to play Jesus, and that was really a shock for me because I was like, okay, I guess now I'm Jesus for an hour, and that was fun.
What else can you tease about kind of the new episodes that you have going on? For
Oh wow, I did a live one at UCB in LA,
gosh.
and that's gonna be coming out in September. It'll already be out, so
That's awesome.
check it out.
Would you want to do more kind of the live podcast format?
I love it. I think it's really fun doing it live because you get that audience feedback. I mean, it's, when you're in a podcast studio, you're trusting your instincts and playing off each other, and you feel like it's funny, but it's hard to know for sure. And then when you get the audience in front of you, you can really go much crazier because once they fuel that.
Because that's interesting too. Because when you're doing the podcast, you don't have a live audience. You don't really know what's working or what's not. But.
Yeah, I think it's helped me like trust my instincts more because when you're in like a silent room and you just have to hope that it's going well, you just
like
think,
this.
yeah, we think it's going great.
Next up, you also have a film with Adam Sandler, correct?
Yeah. Oh, with David Spade. It's a Happy Madison
movie. Oh my
movie.
gosh, awesome.
Yeah.
What can you tease about that? What can fans expect?
Oh my God, it's crazy. It's called The Wrong Missy, and I play Missy. Basically, David Spade has he goes on a corporate retreat, and he texts the wrong person to invite them on the corporate retreat, and it's me, and I'm crazy.
You just show up and
Yeah.
you're whack. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
This is great.
Thanks.
Make sure to catch Between Two Ferns the movie, streaming now on Netflix.